Okay, students, let's discuss NCERT solutions of metallurgy, general principles of extraction of metals only. Look at the first question is there now. Which of the ore generally which were used to separation of magnet separation method? By using a magnet separation method, which also can work concentration only. Generally, remember magnet separation method means these materials. What are the materials? Are either the ore or impurities. They must be attract towards the magnet. Okay, clear. So generally I'm taking the impurities are non-magnetic nature, and ore is magnetic nature only. Generally this method is to extraction of the iron ore in the form of hematite, magnetite, siderite, iron pyrite only. So these materials usually general non-magnetic materials are the silica can be removed by using of this method only. So students remember that so my magnet separation method is to remove the non-magnetic material from the magnetic material. Example, iron ore is there and silica. Silica is impurity present in the iron ore, can be removed. Next one is the most important question is there now. What is significant leaching process only? Look at students, I will say very easiest method, easiest way. What is significance of leaching process only? Okay, first of all remember here the aluminum containing of the aluminum ore nothing but bauxite ore is containing of impurities are silicon dioxide impurities, ferric oxide impurities, and here this iron oxide impurities and titanium oxide impurities are clear. So what happened initially, remember silicon dioxide is the acidic nature, iron oxide is basic nature, titanium oxide is basic nature only. When aluminum oxides are react with the strong concentrated sodium hydroxide, they form a one complex. This salt is soluble in the water. Okay, this is called coordination of sodium metaluminate they will call. What happened, this complex is soluble in the water. When this complex is soluble in the water, along with this base only, so silicon dioxide also react. They form a sodium silicate. So both this, look at this one and ore will be soluble. Okay, ore will be soluble. What is left behind? Titanium oxide is insoluble. Titanium oxide is insoluble. So titanium oxide will be filtered for the process. Clear? So what happens after this one is they will pass when they pass carbon dioxide gas through this complex solution, only aluminum oxide will forms. Aluminum oxide will precipitate out. Whenever aluminum oxide precipitate out, sodium silicate is soluble in only. This is in the form of liquid student. It's never come as a precipitate. So what happens? The aluminum oxide will come. This aluminum oxide will go filtration method. After filtration method, we'll separate the iron ore also. Clear? Later what happens? This concept will get the only aluminum oxide. The aluminum hydroxide when heated they form aluminum oxide. Aluminum oxide further heating process we can get the Al2O3. Also steps are there here. Look at the aluminum containing of the silicon dioxide, iron oxide, titanium oxide impurities. These impurities can be removed by using of the process of leaching. During the leaching process, the powder ore is heated at concentrated sodium hydroxide at temperature of the 470 to 520 kelvins is there now. What happens? They form one complex. The complex is soluble in the water. Left behind of the iron oxide, titanium oxide is a solid form. They won't soluble in the water. They will filter. They will separate this one. Later what happens? They consider the impurities are filtered off and solution sodium metaluminate is neutralized by passing of carbon dioxide. If they're adding the base, then they are adding the acid. So what happens when hydrate of aluminum is separated out. Hydrate of aluminum is separated out with while sodium silicate remaining in the solution. Sodium silicate remaining in the solution. After this one is then the hydrate aluminate is obtained by the filtration process and dried, and further under reduction process will get the aluminum. This is nothing but a leaching process. Let students look at this question is then here. The reaction of the reduction of the chromium by using of aluminum, they form Al2O3 and chromium. Gives free energy value. Change in the energy gives free energy value minus 421 kilojoules. Is thermodynamically more feasible. How say thermodynamic more feasible means delta G value is more negative. That reaction is more possible with that. So look at the why does this reaction does not take place room temperature? Why? Because means this one can explain by the based on two concepts only. A Lingen diagram applicable for the metal oxides are and the product reactant and product must be in the equilibrium position only. Here no equilibrium is there, and these both are solid. Sorry, these are the solids only. So what I mean, this is explained on the basis of the chemical equilibrium concept only. In this given redox reaction, all reactant and products are in solid at room temperature. So this reaction is no equilibrium between the reactant and product. Hence the reaction does not occur at At high temperature only, chromium melts. The value of the change in the delta, change in the entropy value is there, no, increases. As a result of the reaction will be takes place. It means at high temperature this reaction will takes place. At low temperature this reaction will not takes place. Or else you can mention this reaction need initiation energy. Initiation of the heating process is required only. Delta enthalpy formation become more negative, hence the reaction will proceed rapidly. Clear only, no? One point I will say very clearly. If this one is there, no, is require activation energy. That's the reason why it doesn't occur at room temperature. Look at students here. Generally one question is there. Here small mistake is there. Here instead of silicon dioxide we have take silicon dioxide. What they are giving here, remember, at below 1966 kelvins is there, no, magnesium can reduce silicon. Same reaction, the temperature is various. Look at what I mean there. Generally silicon can reduce magnesium. So you get, don't be confused here. Why this happen means, now at this temperature, okay, at below this temperature, magnesium oxide is more stable. Above this temperature, what happens, the magnesium oxide is unstable. That's the reason this happen only. I'll say one point is there. How this one is at what temperature is stable or unstable is explained by the Ellingen diagram only. Ellingen diagram and Gibbs free energy will explain about this concept. Okay, students, don't read this one, don't be confused here. Look at the below 1966 kelvins temperature, the formation of magnesium oxide is more stable according to thermodynamics. At above the 1966 kelvins is there, no, the formation of silicon dioxide is more feasible according to law of thermodynamics. Should look at here, the copper can be extracted by using of hydrometallurgy but not zinc. Explain why. So here they are given the reduction potential value. Look at reduction potential value means initial zinc 2 plus is there. By gaining of 2 electrons they form zinc. How much volts is there? This volts is nothing but minus 0.76 volts. For this reduction process, how much volts are required? Minus 0.76 volt. Minus 0.76 volt means always remember more reactive metals electrode potential value always coming as negative. Next one is the lower reduction potential. Look at the copper reduction potential Cu2 plus 2 Cu. The reduction potential value 0.34 volts. 0.34 volts. What happened here? The less reactive metal. Here minus value means zinc readily gives electron, copper readily takes electron. So minus here positive. And also remember in the electrochemical series, after hydrogen copper will comes. Before hydrogen zinc will comes. So what happened there? Zinc is more reactive than hydrogen. So zinc cannot be extracted by using of the hydrometallurgy process only. Clear? Hydrometallurgy process cannot be. But suppose I want to reduce zinc, I have to use a more reactive metal. More reactive metals are they will react more with water only. So that's the reason why we are not using the zinc. Okay. Further in the extraction by using of hydrometallurgy process. Let's see what is the role of the depressant froth flotation process. Depressant here is selective frothing agents only. Suppose I'm just taking the lead sulfide ore is there and zinc sulfide is there. Both ores are present in the general reaction mixture only. I want only lead sulfide froth. I don't want zinc sulfide forming frothing only. When I add the anti-frothing agent, depressant is there. No? When I add depressant can react with only zinc sulfide. They form one complex. When a zinc is forming the complex, they never behave like a sulfide. So they never behave like a sulfide. They never form a froth. Only lead sulfide can form a froth only. That is the role of the depressant. Depressant nothing but selective frothing agent. It is selective frothing agent. It can froth only one type of the sulfide ore. Let's students say the next one. Why is the extraction of copper from pyrometallurgy more difficult than it form of oxide ore? Through the reactions only. One point once again I'm saying why the extraction of copper from pyrite more difficult than the oxides only. Why means here remember one point. Remember, look at students, the enthalpy of formation of copper sulfide is more stable when the enthalpy formation of copper disulfide. Carbon disulfide. It means copper Cu2S is more stable than CH2. Look at here. So what I mean, there is a carbon cannot reduce the sulfur from the copper sulfide only. So this reaction is not feasible. Look what next one is that here the enthalpy formation of copper Cu2S is more negative than enthalpy of formation of CH2. Hence H2S. So copper sulfide cannot reduce by carbon or hydrogen only. The enthalpy formation of carbon dioxide is more negative than the enthalpy formation of copper oxide. So copper oxide can be reduced by the carbon. Remember nothing but here just consider here that when the formation of carbon disulfide is there, no, here this process here, no, is not feasible, but this process is more feasible in the reduction process. That's why only oxides can be reduced only. Before I'm discussing very clearly what are the materials you want to reduce is then oxide form is more suitable for the reduction process only. That's the mention only. Next one is look at this one is explain the zone refining method. You know very well zone refining method used for the extraction of the purest metal. Okay, semiconductor, germanium, silicon, boron, carbon, indium is there, no? These kind of materials extraction they use the zone refining method. Zone refining is based on the principle that impurities are more soluble in the molten state than in the solid state only. Okay, the impurities are in the molten form is there, no? Just imagine here that I will take one. Look at students, I'm taking here ore is then these are heaters are there. When the heat what happens there is the impurities have low melting point between liquid only. When you make a slope like that, what happens there is that this is only impurities will become outside, pure metals are left behind here. That's nothing but a zone refining method. That's nothing but zone refining method. Next, you know very well chromatography method, that's the column chromatography method. General chromatography method is applied for the preferential absorption only. It means it is considered if you take the adsorbent Al2O3, impurities are more attract towards the aluminum oxide, and the remaining the ore is there will not attract easily to aluminum oxide. Either we take the aluminum oxide silica as a stationary phase only. The ore will comes very fastly. When you add the elutant is there, no, the elutant move very fastly. You can be separate the impurities by using of the chromatography only. Chromatography is the best method to separation of the impurities from the ore. Look at change the out of this one carbon and carbon monoxide is best reducing agent at 673 kelvins only. One point remember, carbon solid react with oxide from carbon dioxide. 1 mole of gas giving 1 mole of gas. The delta S value no change in temperature only. Entropy value is no changes. But look at in this reaction what happens, then 2 moles of gas is coming. Means what happens that the entropy value increases, delta S value increases. Delta S value increases means on increase in temperature, the reaction is more feasible. So that's the reason why, and also you can just consider the 2 volume of gas is producing only. So look at in this graph also, look at the whenever the reaction proceeds, the formation of carbon monoxide is more feasible at the high temperature. Look at there, it means when increase temperature, the carbon monoxide is more stable when compared with the carbon dioxide. Look at it. So what happens there? So it's more stable means more easy to undergo reduction process only. When compared with carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide is the strongest reducing agent. Look at the name the common element present in the mud of the electrolyte refining process. You know electrolyte refining process, you know some mud will form. You know what is the generally metals are present, nothing but here the impurities in the bate antimony, tellurium, silver, gold and platinum impurities will be there. Clear? So nothing, this is called anode mud only. This is called anode mud. Write down the reactions takes place between a different zone of blast furnace. At blast furnace, what are the chemical? Blast furnace nothing but reduction of iron only, no? Reduction of iron means you have to remember 3 points: combustion zone, reduction zone, slag formation zone. Okay, na? In the combustion zone, what happens there? Carbon will burn, produce carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide react with carbon, they form a carbon monoxide only. This carbon monoxide is there, no? If both combustion zone will come, and calcium carbonate decomposes different calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. This will take place. Look at the temperature of 500 kelvins to 800 kelvins. Fe2O3 we react with carbon monoxide. Look at the carbon monoxide, they form a Fe3O3. Fe3O4, and the hematite become to magnetite. This magnetite is best for the easy reduction process, so it react with carbon monoxide, they form a iron plus carbon dioxide. Similarly, Fe3O4 also react with carbon monoxide, they form a FeO plus CO2 only. Look at the temperature up to 900 to 1500 kelvins out in bay. Again, carbon react with carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide only. This carbon monoxide is it reduces the FeO. They form, look at here, this one is happened. Next one, students, above the 1570 kelvins is what I mean there. This carbon can reduce iron oxide. They form iron plus carbon monoxide only. Decomposition calcium carbonate takes place. This calcium carbonate react with silicon dioxide. They form a slag. They form a slag only. So these are the chemical reactions which takes place in the pyrometallurgy process at different temperatures. Right, the chemical reaction takes place in the extraction of zinc. You know very well zinc sulfide ore when on roasting process form zinc oxide. Zinc oxide react with carbon at the temperature of the 1673 Kelvin. They form zinc oxide plus carbon monoxide. These two equations are enough for the reacting this one is extraction of zinc blend only. Next one is there now here the state the role of silica in the metallurgy of copper. Generally copper ore containing of the iron oxide impurities are this iron oxide impurities are its basic nature. To remove this basic nature impurities we are adding silica. they form a flux. Later form a slag only. That's the reason why they are using up to removing of the basic impurity. We are using the silicon dioxide. What is meant by chromatography? Generally, you know very chromatography is nothing but the process of separation of various compounds based on their color. Okay, chromatography only. Okay. How can you select the stationary phase only? Stationary phase is nothing but here. Remember one point is that the stationary phase is selected in such a way impurities are more strongly absorbed on the stationary phase. So impurities will be absorbed more strongly. Clear? Suppose you take the gas mask, just take a gas mask. If you breathe the air, what happens? The whole oxygen comes, impurities will be stuck towards gas mask only. That is only. And describe the method of refining of nickel. Nickel is there, no? How can we remove nickel? Is there, no? Nickel react with carbon monoxide at the temperature of the 330 kelvins, 350 kelvins. They form a tetranickel carbonyl complex. This complex is unstable at high temperature. What happens when heated at the 450 to 470 kelvins? Or again, this complex breaks and they form nickel and carbon monoxide only. Okay, by this method you can be purify the nickel only. This is called Mond's process only. How can we separate the aluminum from silica from bauxite only? You know very well they mentioned silica only, you know. Silica, how they can separate silica means initially, okay, so aluminum hydroxide react sodium hydroxide form aluminum silicate is there, no? Aluminum, soda aluminate and sodium silicate also will form. This sodium silicate is when reacted with carbon dioxide, this one only precipitated. This one left behind in the solutions only. So sodium silicate will not be precipitated outside, only sodium aluminum hydride will be precipitated. By this method you can be extract the aluminum by using a process only. Look at it, they mentioned so NaAlOH4, sodium metaluminate when pass carbon dioxide, Al2O3 precipitate outside, the Al2O3 when heated high temperature form aluminum oxide only. Give the difference between the roasting and calcination. Do you know very well, no? Roasting nothing but here the heating of the ore is generally in the presence of the X amount of the air. Calcination, limited supply of the air below its melting point only. Generally roasting is applied for sulfide ores are there. Calcination, generally consider, look at here the roasting process, sulfide ores are calcination for the hydrate ore, carbonate ore, they will use for the reduction of this one only. Look at students, how is the cast iron different from pig iron? I discussed about the cast iron, pig iron. The iron obtained from the blast furnace is called pig iron. It containing of the 4% of carbon. Many other impurities also small amount will be there: sulfur, phosphorus, silicon, and manganese. Cast iron is the more made up by the melting of pig iron with scrap iron and cake using of the hot air blast. It is slightly lower carbon, 3% will carbon will be there. Remember one point is there, no? Because the pig iron contain more impurities will be there, 4% will be there. You can just consider cast iron is there, no? Cast iron contain 3% of carbon only. Difference between the metal and ore, you know very well difference between the metal and ore, so I am not discussing much more. Look at the why copper matter is put in silicon. I said very clear, no? Copper matter contain iron sulfide impurities. Remove this iron sulfide impurities. We are using the silicon only. Okay, the students, what is the role of the cryolite? Very important. Generally the cryolite is there, no? Cryolite nothing but Na3AlF6. Na3AlF6. It increase the conductivity of aluminum and decrease the melting point of the aluminum. That's the reason why they use the cryolite only. How leaching is carried occur in the grade of the copper only. Out in the low grade copper only. Just consider the leaching in the case of low grade copper is carried out with acid in the presence of the air. This process copper oxide forms together with copper sulfate, and copper sulfate, or when you go for the using of reduction by using of hydrogen, they form a copper only. Clear? Look at students, why zinc is not extracted from the zinc oxide through the reduction of the carbon monoxide. This is because of the standard free energy of the formation of carbon dioxide from the carbon monoxide higher than the standard Gibbs energy formation of the zinc oxide plus zinc. This reason only. Remember, standard enthalpy formation is there, no? This one is carbon dioxide is more. And just remember, check the Ellingen diagram, you get very clarity. Name the process by which chloride is obtained by the product. Okay, what will be happen if aqueous solution is NaCl substitute electrolysis only. You know, NaCl under electrolysis in the molten NaCl, they give the sodium and chlorine gas only. If you take the water molecule, if you take the sodium hydroxide, chlorine gas will come. That's called chloroalkali process. If you take the pure NaCl, you will get the sodium and chlorine gas only. And what is the role of graphite in the electrometallurgy process? Graphite uses act as a reducing agent. It reduces aluminum oxide to aluminum only. That's why they use the electrometallurgy process. Next, to predict the conditions under aluminum might be expect to as reduced magnesium oxide. When the electrochemical series, when magnesium is most reactive than the aluminum only. So look at here, at particular temperature is there, no, aluminum can be reduced by the magnesium. At one particular temperature, magnesium can reduce the aluminum only. It depends upon the conditions only. Clear? Suppose, remember, I will say one clear one is there, no, enthalpy formation of aluminum oxide. Okay, this is enthalpy formation of aluminum oxide. This is enthalpy formation of magnesium oxide only. If you look at the plots, just consider if you look at Ehrlichman diagram, just to look at the Ehrlichman diagram, they will mention magnesium oxide lower positions, or magnesium oxide is more stable. What happens, you consider the magnesium oxide can be reduced by aluminum. So magnesium oxide reduced by aluminum at the temperature is there, no, the temperature, look at there, just consider the 1665 below the temperature one. What happens there, here the here aluminum can reduce the magnesium, but above this temperature here, what happens, just consider the, okay, if you look at the plots from the formation of two oxides of the Ehrlichman diagram, you find that they intersect at certain temperature, at certain point only. The corresponding value of enthalpy of formation is then it becomes 0 only for the reduction of the magnesium oxide by the aluminum metal. So remember, this value is then delta G value is become 0 only. This means that reduction of magnesium oxide by aluminum cannot occur below the temperature of below this temperature. So look at the above this temperature only, aluminum can reduce the magnesium oxide. Okay, look at here, remember, this reaction delta G value 0. Delta G value 0 means equilibrium reactions only. Equilibrium reactions. So what happens, this reaction is not generally not further proceed only. This reaction will be static position only. Above this temperature, what happens, this reaction undergo only forward direction. Only undergo forward direction. So what happens, above this temperature, aluminum can reduce the magnesium oxide. Below this temperature, it cannot be reduced the magnesium. It cannot reduce magnesium only.